So fantastic. And I see you guys all already they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Okay. So how about we do one sleep question now?
Let's do it now.
All right. So the sleep question, let's see, this came in, and I think you kind of just answered it, but let's just reinforce that again, okay? This came in from Jamie, and she said, how do I get my baby to start being more awake during the day and sleep during the night? My 3-week-old still has them mixed up.
Yay, 3 weeks old, congratulations. That's just so special. But yeah, very, very frustrating when you're up in the middle of the night and you don't necessarily want to be up in the middle of the night because, oh, look, it's the middle of the night. Actually, what's happening now with a child who's 3 weeks old, sleep is obviously very, very mature, and it's not even actually beginning to mature just yet. Everything right now is a nap. There is no daytime sleep or nighttime sleep. So getting the day and the night mixed up actually is not really happening. Everything is just a nap. Now, do you remember being pregnant why would it always be that when you were pregnant and during the day, your baby would be asleep? Because you could tell because there was not much movement going on. And then the second that you lay down in bed, baby would wake up, and that's when you'd feel all that movement and all those kicks and everything. And then it would inevitably keep you up because you've been kicked in the bladder for hours on end and you need to get up and pee 50 times. But your baby is probably doing the exact same thing as they were doing when they were in utero. And what happens is during the day when you're busy and you're doing things, all that movement is lulling baby to sleep. And then when you're stopped and you're trying to get to sleep, none of that movement is lulling baby to sleep, and that's when baby will wake up. So that's why a lot of time you'll see that when you're pregnant, that why is it that my baby seems to wake up when I'm actually trying to go to sleep? And it's probably a similar thing going on. So there's no nighttime or daytime. It's probably just kind of got into this rhythm of being more awake during the night hours because as humans, we are creatures of habit. So that's going on. So unfortunately, there's not a huge amount that we can do right now because everything is just so immature. Now, what you can do is get plenty of natural light during the day. Now, it doesn't mean you have to be outside. Even just sort of being by a window in a bright room can really, really help. And then trying to keep your child up for a little bit, sort of during when they're waking, when you needing to feed and do diaper changes, try and kind of keep them awake a little bit longer. You can do that by tickling their feet, sort of stripping them off a little bit. A lot of things that you do to try and keep your child awake whilst feeding are things that you can just do to keep your child awake. So even if it is just 10 minutes for each awake time during the day, well, that may be an hour less of awake time at nighttime. So even so, don't feel that you've suddenly got to keep your child awake for 4 hours. Not going to happen. But even if you get just 10 minutes each time, maybe just sort of having a bit more naked time, or just sort of, at each diaper change, or just sort of not getting dressed. As long as your child's, you're not sort of outside in Alaska, then your child is fine. You're fine. If you're indoors and you have a normal temperature, your child will be okay. But don't worry about it. Sleep is going to begin to develop, the nighttime sleep begins to develop at around 6 weeks. So you're halfway there.
I want to add one more thing too, that especially at 3 weeks and even longer than that, babies need to get their milk in at some point during the day, or in that, when I say during the day, in that 24-hour period. And very often, that can happen during the night. So they're hungry and they need to eat. What I would make sure that you're doing is make sure that you're feeding frequently during the day as well, so that you're keeping the baby back to breast. You're watching for those feeding cues. You're not like stretching out the feedings. You're not being too busy with visitors or even going out. Like really, especially with such a small baby, you want to make sure they're getting as much milk in as possible. And that being said, you can't really change their patterns too much because they're going to eat when they want to eat, especially at that age. And some of that has to do with your breast capacity. So that means that some babies can go longer stretches between feedings because you have more milk in your breast. Sometimes some moms have less, and it just has to do with how much how fast or how full the breast can get between feedings, and that will determine how much your baby's eating at a feeding, as well as their stomach size. Some babies, they just have small stomach sizes and they need to digest quickly, eat little amounts, and go back. You also have a lot more milk during the night too. And so you don't want to change it. You really don't want to change it too much. And, you know, I don't know how you feel about this, Rebecca, but I think I've read this from other people. I think this is one of the other questions as well, is like, how do I keep my baby, like, should I keep the baby awake more? And then the baby will sleep more. And my experience with that with babies is that they get overtired. And so it doesn't really work. Like trying to keep them awake or having a lot of noise going on or all those things. It seems like when they nap better during the day and you feed them frequently, to me, that would be the best way to handle it. Otherwise, they will stay up all night.
Definitely. Because so children sleep very differently than us as adults do. So if you're tired and you take a 4-hour nap, you know that you're going to have trouble that night sleeping because you had a 4-hour nap.
Right.
And so that's sort of, if you're thinking about how an adult sleeps and you're trying to kind of put that on your child, it's actually not going to work because children sleep very differently. The more overtired that they get, the more that they're going to struggle, one, to fall asleep, but remain asleep is going to be a real issue. So a child who's got overtired, and you've probably seen this, is they get that second wind. They'll be getting down, you think, oh, they're getting really sleepy, and then boom, they're wide awake. It's as if you've given them 3 shots of espresso, 2 cans of Red Bull, and a couple of tablespoons of sugar mixed in there as well. They just suddenly get a lot of energy, and that's what happens, that they then, all this energy kind of, if you're doing this all throughout the day, they're going to really struggle with later naps. They're going to struggle with their night times, not just falling asleep and play, but the remaining sleep. They'll kind of can wake up very, very quickly, very urgently, especially the very beginning part of the night before then kind of beginning to settle down. So it's actually has the exact opposite effect. So for you, it may be better to not nap for 4 hours just to kind of keep going and so you can go to bed early. But for a child, no, that nap is really, really important. So they've not got that overtired, overstimulated, and then going to struggle. They're going to have a much, much easier time with their later naps and their nighttime sleep.
Totally, totally. I see everybody here commenting about the Even Flow pump and how much they love it and they're using it. And I'm just so excited to see that. For those of you who don't know, I helped design this breast pump with features that are just so amazing and wonderful and necessary for moms, from, you know, closed system to multiple flange sizes so that they come included, as well as, you know, something we went over last month was my course on comfort pumping. It was a new concept that it was actually 2 months ago already, that we introduced about why the Even Flow pump, one of the many reasons why I recommend it and why it helps so much for moms to get more milk out. And, you know, when we talk about comfort, there's nothing more comfortable than this pump. I mean, and that's not just a nice thing, although it's very nice to have it comfortable. It's a necessity in order to get that oxytocin release. You need to be comfortable. You need to be not in pain. And so when moms will put on a pump and they turn the suction up really hard and they really feel it hard and strong and it hurts, they think it's doing better. And actually it's having the opposite effect on, you know, inhibiting that oxytocin, which is what causes your milk to let down and causes the expression of milk and getting all that milk to drain from the breast. So, you know, a couple of the features, and I just want to show you what I mean by comfort, is these soft silicone flanges, okay? And that soft silicone insert in multiple sizes, you know, plus a flange a silicone that's actually soft and it's sort of velvety in the middle, so there's no sticking to the nipple, okay? You want to make sure that using something that's super comfortable and that fits properly, and that's what we got with this, as well as, and I saw Even Flow commenting about our sit back flanges. And I actually posted a picture. I don't have it here, but I posted it in my private group when I went to do the photo shoot last month in Charlotte. we took a picture of mom pumping with this pump, and she's sitting back in the glider and totally relaxing, and the milk's going down into the bottle, and not backflowing onto her where she's getting all wet. And this happens with all the other pumps on the market. So it's just one of those great features that I highly recommend checking it out. If you get that baby, if you type baby and you get that response from me through Messenger, there'll be a link through that you can see all the different features of the Even Flow Feeding Advanced and the new Hush model, which is quiet and wonderful. And, they just keep improving. So, and you also get my breast pumps and briefcases full length class for free when you get any of the advanced models. Okay. So whoever wins today is going to get that class.
Mm-hmm. And look how small the pump is.
Oh my God.
It's tiny.
It's small and it's lightweight.
Yeah.
And it takes batteries too. It takes batteries, AA batteries right into the pump. There's also a car adapter, so you can plug it in when you're in the car. And it's got really nice dual bottle holders too, integrated right into the pump, and they're nice and strong. So lots of really good features. I actually have the 3-stage pumping method pulled up, the video. If anybody wants to see it, do you guys want to see the 3-stage pumping? We haven't shown that one in a while.
It has been a little while.
I've had so many new followers, especially here and also in the group, that they're like, what is this multiple letdowns you're talking about? And we forget, like, you're new, you just started pumping, you need to see this. So how about in a few minutes, we'll go ahead and show that video, right? Yeah. Okay, so that's going to be our prize today, the Hush model. And then can we talk for a minute, Rebecca, before I answer a question, let's talk for a minute about the other prize today. And that's the Love to Dream Swaddle Up. Okay, this is our favorite swaddle out there. It is the original of the hands up swaddle suits. Okay, if you want to call them, because they're little suits that they zip in, swaddle sacks. And they come in the most fabulous prints. They also come in 3 different stages. One is the swaddle up, and that is for your newborn. It's for your babies up until about 3 to 4 months old. And what it's doing is it's helping to keep the baby in that tight, confined feeling that they want, okay, that's womb-like, all right, with a nice tightness around their abdomen and feeling like they're enclosed, because that will help to suppress that startle or Moro reflex and keep them self-soothing and sleeping a little bit better, okay, not constantly waking themselves up, but at the same time giving them their arms in the position that most babies really want to be, which is with their hands up here, okay? Or being able to bring to midline and touch their face and self-soothe and learn how to self-soothe, all right? And then what's so fabulous is there's also the 50/50s with the wings that zip off, okay? And so that means the arm can start to transition out of the swaddle suit as your baby gets to the age where they need to start using their hands or have their hands free. That would be like you're starting to notice they're starting to roll over, okay? So like I said, somewhere around 3 to 4 months, but you want to make sure that that's more about your baby and not their age, because every baby's different. But you want to give them those hands, their hands to use for, and everybody's saying they love their dream stuff. I don't know anybody who doesn't love the Love to Dream. Like, honestly, it's like the one brand when I talk about Love to Dream, and I love it so much. It's just and I know you do too, Rebecca. It's one of those things where no matter where I go or who I talk to, if anybody, there's always someone who's using it and everyone loves it, right? It's
totally.
It's definitely life-changing.
Yeah, of course you're going to sleep better if you're sleeping in a more natural position. Sleeping with your arms pinned down to your side, that's not how babies were when they were in the womb. That's not how anybody really sleeps. And so you can imagine going from where you're sleeping like this without the coffee cup, but where you're sleeping like this when you're in the room and up like this, to then suddenly having to sleep with your arms pinned down. That's very different. And as well, I guarantee that transitioning out of the swaddle will be a bazillion% easier with the Love to Dream. And that is scientific fact.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. The bazillion% easier. Honestly.
Bazillion? Is that like a technical term?
That's the scientific term.
I'm actually looking for something for somebody here. Hold on. We need to have the link because it seems like some people aren't able to actually get into the, let me just see here. Stephanie, if you're watching, can you please post the bit.ly with the BS links on it so that everybody can enter the giveaway today? For some reason, some people are not. Oh, there it is. I see it. Okay, hold on. I'm going to post it here in the, let's do this. I'm going to put it up on the screen for a second. This is the link. If you are having trouble, if you are having any trouble getting the baby response so that you can get the links for today and also make sure that you're entered for the giveaway, you can also go, you also go to that link and it will get you in, okay? And maybe we can put that in the post. You know what I'll do? After the live stream today, I'll put this in the post with a link for you so you can just stay here. Stay here and don't worry, okay? We always take care of you. We always take care of you. And we'll make sure if you say here it's not working for you, we'll make sure that you're in. How about that? Okay? If you mention here in the chat that it's not working for you, you can't get it, we will make sure that you're entered into the giveaway because you absolutely will be. Okay? So nobody's stressing. No, this is a stress-free zone. Okay? We had enough stress with the reminders. We're not doing any stress today. We have somebody in the chat here who's looking to come on board and ask a question. I am going to, Vanessa, can you hear me? Okay, nod your head. Is this a breastfeeding question? Yes, okay. Sleep, okay, then I'm coming right back to you, okay? Don't go anywhere. Okay, very good. Rebecca, ask me a breastfeeding question, then we will go back to a sleep question from
Good idea. Excellent. It's a great question that came in from Laura. Really, really good question. Is exercising while breastfeeding safe? And does it affect supply or the taste of breast milk?
It's such a good question. We don't really talk about this that much, right? But you know, moms want to know, like, is it all right to start going back to my routine? You know, is this going to have an impact on my supply, or is the baby going to reject the milk, or am I going to have issues if I try to start exercising? And the answer to that question is that with moderate exercise, you should have no problem at all. And actually, it would be good. What you want to do is make sure that you're waiting about 6 weeks, you know, till you're back to the point where your body, you know, not about the baby, but that your body can actually handle the extra strain, okay? Remember that whether you had a vaginal birth or you had a C-section, there is an open wound, okay? So whether it's obvious with a C-section that there's something open that needs to be healed, right? But it's not so obvious with a vaginal birth. Even if you had a very good delivery, even if you had no tearing and you had not one stitch, okay, there is still an open wound. And what that is the area inside the uterus where the placenta was attached, okay? It is still healing. And so by doing too much too soon, you can cause more bleeding. You can impede your recovery. You want to take it easy. And that's why that first, you know, lying in time of that first 4 to 6 weeks is just the most important thing, is to just be spending time with your baby and feeding. And believe me, you're burning through like 500 calories a day just doing that, right? So sleeping, eating, and feeding, that's your exercise and your full-time job in the beginning. But then as life starts to get back to normal and you're like, okay, it's time for me to do this, you take it slow. Moderate exercise should not decrease your supply. It should not change the taste of your milk. There should be no change in the structure or what's in the milk at all with exercise. Where you've heard these things and why this comes up is with, you know, very, very strenuous exercise. Sometimes with that, there's been a few studies that showed that, you know, things like the IgA content of the milk can be decreased slightly with very extreme exercise. As well as the lactic acid buildup that can happen, and it can change the taste slightly. Again, this won't happen with your normal moderate exercise, so you don't have to worry about that. I think with what normally happens if moms think that the baby's not liking the taste, it's not really about the milk. It may be the saltiness of her breast from sweating. Okay. Obviously nothing wrong. You can do that. But if the baby tends to seem like they're rejecting it or they don't like it, it's jump in the shower, wash off, or just rinse off the boobs a little, okay? And get rid of some of that extra salt that may have accumulated.
Definitely.
From exercise and sweating. Other things to keep in mind as I think about like exercise and breastfeeding. You want to wear a nice, good supportive bra. Your breasts are heavier than normal. They're fuller than normal. You want to make sure you're wearing a good, comfortable sports bra, but not too tight where you wind up causing plugged ducts, okay, in your breast. And so it's somewhere in the middle of good support, but well-fitting, nothing that's cutting anywhere. Nice full coverage is where I would go with this. Full coverage, nothing digging, and make sure it's sized properly.
So you may need to go out and buy some new ones, even if you were exercising right up until the day that you gave birth.
Yes,
they're going to really changed since then, and so you wouldn't try and kind of squeeze into those sports bras you were wearing before. Definitely get a couple of new ones.
And you know what? I used to sell, when I had my store, I used to sell a sports bra that actually had hooks in the back. And I would actually go for one that has hooks. And the reason why is because you want it to be snug enough to give you the support, but you don't want it to be so tight as it's coming down over your breasts. Okay. So finding a really good, secure, supportive sports bra that actually has hooks, which is not usually how you think of a sports bra, would be my best recommendation. There was actually one by a company called Anita that I really, really liked. It was a very good, it's not a maternity or a nursing bra. It's just a great sports bra that gave that kind of support with the hooks. So if anybody's interested in looking for one, you can.
And we all know how awful it is to try and get out of a sports bra if you've got to get it up over your head after you exercise.
It's better to be able to unhook it and
totally. And then, you know how that is trying to get out of that thing. My gosh.
Yeah, and then you're trying to get out of it, so you wind up pulling it up, and it's sitting right here while you're nursing, which is not a good idea. So unhooking it would be way better. I know they do have some sports nursing bras, but I found them to never be as supportive as what you really need. And I'm always thinking, well, you're not actually like nursing the baby while you're doing the activity. Usually, I guess you could with some yoga or whatever, but then you could just wear a regular bra or no bra, right? The last thing I would say about exercise is just make sure that you're staying hydrated, because that could have an impact on nursing. So if you're really sweating a lot, if you're really high activity, if it's hot, you're just going to need to increase your fluid intake so that you do not become dehydrated. Watch for your urine color. That will tell you a lot, but stay hydrated while you're exercising. All right. Now we've got two people waiting in the wings here. I'm going to bring Vanessa on right now, okay, to answer her question. And then I definitely want to go to a video. So let's answer, and then we'll do that.
Great.
Hey, Vanessa, here we go.
Help, Deacon.
Hi, Vanessa. Hi.
How are you guys?
Good. Can you hear us?
I can hear you both.
Okay, fantastic.
Sorry, I'm trying not to show boobs.
I can see that you're nursing too. I think that's awesome. What better place to come on live with us and be, like I'm nursing and that's right?
Well, she's 18 days old, so I'm always nursing.
Yeah, that's it. You're pretty much sat there all day.
So my question's actually breastfeeding and sleep.
Okay.
At what point can we stop waking to nurse?
That's a great question.
She's back to her birth weight, and at night she'll sleep 4 to 5 hours. I can't sleep that long because I have to at least wake up and pump or kind of dream feed her because I have so much milk. But at what point can I stop forcing her to nurse?
Did you say 18 days? 18 days. Okay, so she's about 3 weeks old.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Almost 3 weeks old. All right. So how long will she go at night?
4 to 5 hours.
Okay, so that's what I was going to say. So I would say that, you know, for some babies, if they're not gaining, if they're not back to birth weight, if you're having any kind of issues with sleepiness, or you know that the baby's on the breast for an hour at a time, not transferring milk well, any of those issues, then this is not applying to you. Okay,
Okay.
but if everything's going well, and the baby is back at birth weight, and the baby's nursing well day and night, and obviously having good feedings, we're transferring a lot of milk, you can hear audible swallows, you've got lots of pee and poopy diapers, and everything's going in the right direction. It's like what we were talking about before, that every baby's different and breast capacity is different. And so obviously for your baby, 4 to 5 hours is how long she.
Yes, she.
Okay, how long she can go, and she's not hungry. I would say that if you could stick to like 2 to 3 hours during the day, and the baby will go 4 to 5 at night, that's okay. The biggest thing you're going to feel is that you're going to feel really full, and you're going to be awake before her, waiting for her to get up. All right.
Yeah.
Especially right now within this first month where the breast still is a little engorged and still full. What I would do is, if you feel super uncomfortable, you might want to just hand express a little bit of milk out of the breast while you're waiting for her to wake up. You can collect that into a container, or you could use your pump, but don't pump too much. What you want to do is get into the same pattern so that you could start sleeping through those 4 to 5 hours and take advantage of it.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So
I've never had a baby sleep like this. So.
Yeah, you know what? Every baby's different. Every baby's different. And your milk supply could be different this time as well. Do you notice any difference with your supply?
I've had an oversupply with all 3 of my kids, but with her, it's like insane. I think I already have saved like 290 ounces or something like that. Yeah, it's a little insane. And that's just catching with a milk saver and a Haka.
Wow.
So...
Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. So yeah, so she's definitely getting a good feeding. And that's why she's sleeping.
Yeah, and she sleeps really good, like 4 to 5 hour, even during the day. She'll sleep 4 to 5 hour stretches, and I have to wake her up because I'm trying to avoid pumping.
Yeah.
Because I don't need more milk.
Yeah. You know, what I was going to say to you is, because you have that oversupply, you don't want to do anything that's going to cause it to be more.
Yeah.
It could just be your supply. And if that is the case, and you're going to feel more comfortable and avoid any kind of mastitis or problems during the night, if it's easier for you to get a little bit out, you could always donate that milk as well.
Oh, and I always do. I think with my 2 boys, who one's wanting my attention. I think I've donated almost 17 gallons of milk.
Wow.
While breastfeeding.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. You know, so I'm not going to tell you to stop doing that, because there's a lot of mamas who need that milk.
Yeah.
But only if it's working for you. And
nighttime's the only time that I've been pumping, because I don't want mastitis, because I've had it 7 times in the 3 years that I've been breastfeeding.
Okay, so what I would say to you, Vanessa, is just make sure that you're not creating more of the same problem, because you do have a tendency towards the mastitis. I would just make sure that if you are pumping, do small amounts and start weaning yourself down. You can perpetuate that oversupply by just keep pumping out, and it sounds like you're pumping a lot of milk. For some moms, they can pump gallons of milk and donate, and they never have a problem. But if you've had it 7 times in these past few years, I would say try to wean down, try to do other things to get that milk to get to the normal.
And I typically get it from going too long at night.
Yeah. Okay.
So
you're right. Well, sweetheart, you know what? Everybody's got their issue. Do you know what I mean? And I know there's people here in the chat. They're like, "Oh, you're so lucky. I wish I had that problem." But you know, the grass is always greener, and everyone has something. What I found is everyone has a little something when it comes to breastfeeding. Nothing's ever perfect. You know, for me, I never had 1 extra ounce of milk other than what they ate, and no matter how much I pumped or what I did, and that was just me, you know. And so everybody's got that. But then in the end, we can usually make it work. And
Yeah,
so
usually by
I
about
want everyone to not compare, because this is the one thing that, like, as we're listening to Vanessa talk, there's going to be some of you out there who are thinking there's got to be something wrong with me because I only have enough to feed my baby. But that's actually the normal and right amount. Not that Vanessa's not normal. Vanessa's normal too for Vanessa.
yeah.
Okay. And so I just want to make that point so nobody feels like by comparing that, you know, there's something wrong with them. That's not the case.
Well, and by 8 or 9 months, that's about how long it takes me to wean down my supply to get it back to. I still can get a lot of milk, but by 8 or 9 months, I'm only getting about what baby needs.
Yeah.
Like right now, if I were to sit down and actually probably pump, I could probably pump 10 ounces each side.
Yeah. It's a lot.
And that's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah. So please be careful. Okay. Try to avoid mastitis. Try to get a good balance here. Okay. We're going to try to balance this out. And you're doing wonderful. I'm glad you jumped in with us. It was good to see you.
Yes.
Okay. How do I deal? Let me see now. Hold on. Okay. Where? Oh, there she is. Okay. Well, got it. I'm having trouble with the technology today. What is going on? All right. So she jumped out and it is not letting her come out of the screen. Huh. Okay. Well, how do I get her to come out? It's not letting her. I think because she jumped out before I could let her out. All right. I have Melissa here. Let's bring Melissa in and see if that helps. Okay. Getting rid of technology. Let's bring Melissa in. Okay. All right. It's not letting me bring her in because Vanessa. All right. Rebecca, I'm going to bring you out for a second. Okay. I'm afraid I won't get you back.
Oh, I've got the link. I can always come back.
All right. Let me see if I can't get Vanessa to get out of the screen here. I don't know what to do. All right. Let me see if I can get you out and then bring her back. Nope. I can't get anybody out. It just is today.
You want me to stop camera and try coming in again?
No, don't do anything. I'm afraid I will lose you. I'm telling you right now. Okay. Let's see if I do solo. Okay, there's solo. If I do you solo, I can do that. But Vanessa is solo, and we don't want Vanessa solo. Okay, I can't get Vanessa to leave. Okay, Vanessa's just going to be here with us. It just is. All right. So I'm going to split screen like this, if you don't mind, because it's very distracting to have that whole third column completely black. And Melissa, I am so sorry. I cannot bring Melissa, and she's been sitting here waiting, and I cannot get her to come in. But it says I can have 4, so I don't know why. Melissa, I'm sorry, honey. We'll have to bring you in next time, okay? I can't get the technology to work.
Can you hear me? Because it says I'm
if I can get the video to work. Should we try? Oh, wait. There's Vanessa. There's Melissa. Wait, don't hang up. Don't hang up. Okay. I can't hear you, though. And do we have... Okay, we got everybody back. All right. Whoa. Okay. Oh, she hung up. She hung up. All right. Melissa, if you want to come back, come back. Otherwise... Okay, but we do have somebody else starting to come in here. All right, let's do a video. I need to do a video here. Okay, we're gonna do the actual 50-50 swaddle up. I want to show that. All right. Yeah. Okay, and then we've got a couple more people waiting in this chat to answer questions, so we're gonna do that again. So hold on one second. Let's do this. Okay. All right, very cool. That was it's a great demonstration of how those wings come off. So if you guys want to win the Love to Dream, one of mine and Rebecca's favorite products on the market, make sure that you have typed the word baby so that you're entered, or the link when we are finished here. And make sure you comment here, like and love this post too. Give a little love, and comment here telling us why you either love it or you need it, or both.
Mm-hmm.
Both, right? If you have,
Mm-hmm.
you might still need it. If you have the first, the swaddle up, you might need the 50-50, or you might be ready for the sleep suit, which are super cute as well. Okay, so we have Belinda sitting here waiting for us. We have Melissa back. Okay, so we have 3 people waiting in the wings. We're gonna hang on, everybody, because we're gonna answer all your questions. We love if you join us. So you always get priority if you're willing to get on the camera and get live with us, and the way we're doing it, and join us live, we will always answer your questions.
Mm-hmm.
So just everybody keep that in mind. You want your question answered, you get on, okay? All right, so let's bring Melissa on, if this works. Okay, it's working. Now I can do it. Yay! I'm so happy that worked. Hi, Melissa. How are you?
Hi, Shari. I'm good. How are
Good
you?
to see you.
Good to see you too. Can
What's
you hear
your
me?
question, Fred? Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So my question is, since I last seen you in Charlotte, I have been feeding baby only one-sided because that's all she needs. And so the other side is going like 6 hours.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if I should just pump alone with the hush on the one side as she's feeding and like continue that way instead of being engorged on the other side, and now I'm like waiting for the next
Right.
feed.
Right. Absolutely. First of all, it's so good to see you again. Melissa was with me in Charlotte. Like I was saying, we were doing our photo shoot, and we did so many pictures with Melissa and her baby, right? So many wonderful pictures. And she also demonstrated the pump, the even flow pump with us, and did so great. Like, you had such a great response to that pump. I'm so glad it's working for you. As far as your question goes, with the, how old is she now?
She just turned 4 months today.
Okay. Did you notice all of a sudden that you just have a lot more milk?
Well, I have 500 ounces stored. So I've been trying to decrease the pumping, so I'm not like oversupplying. But now that she's only feeding on the one side, I'm stuck for like the other 3 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that one of the things that you could do is you could pump a little so that there's some relief. But what you don't want to do is go and pump the whole other side and drain the whole breast. Okay. Your breasts are independent of each other when it comes to supply and demand.
Okay.
All right. So they really do work independently. And so, and a lot of people don't know that when you're feeding on one side more than the other, you'll tend to start making too much on one side and not enough on the other. So doing some of the, and then breasts can be just uneven to begin with. And usually they are. So usually we have one side that's more of a producer and the other side that's more of like, I call it the appetizer or the dessert, right? But it's something that if you continue to pump every time that she eats on one side and pump out the other side, you're just going to keep on making that much. It's never going to stop. And you'll get that immediate relief, but you're back in the same place in just a few hours. Okay. So one thing that you could do, and I would probably do, is when you're feeding her on the one side, put the pump on the other. Okay. And just get it like an ounce out. Just a little bit. I mean, just enough for relief so you don't wind up with breast infection or mastitis. Just a little bit to get relief. It'll help to just relieve some of the fullness without continuing to overproduce.
Okay.
All right? Because there's nothing wrong with alternating breasts. And this is a question that other moms have too. Can I feed on just one side and then do the next side at the next feeding? There's nothing wrong with doing that at all, except if you have too much and you wind up with a breast infection. So reducing that amount, by the time the 6 hours passes, you'll have plenty to feed her anyway. right? And so you can do that, but I wouldn't try to keep that amount going. You might find that if you stop pumping a lot during that, pumping a lot while she's eating on one, if you stop pumping the other side too much, you might find that this whole issue starts to resolve itself anyway, where she's actually finishing on one side and going, I'm still hungry. And then going, you're just, you want to like decrease the overall supply is what's going to happen.
I'm waiting for her to do that. Sometimes I'm like, hey, please, can you go on the other side? But
I know. And, again, it's just like what I was telling Vanessa, the last person who was on here, if you find that it really is just how you produce, and some people are just overproducers and you need to pump more than that to keep yourself healthy and well and feeling okay, you can always donate that milk. I say to pump it while she's eating because it's the easiest time to get the milk out, but you're not one of those people that has really an issue getting the milk out. So, whichever way works for you, if you do pump that extra, you can always look to donate.
I definitely look to do that. And follow up with that. If I'm letting a little bit out on the next side, because I haven't been pumping every day anymore. I've just pumped like when I feel like I'm gonna skip a feeding and my husband gives her a bottle.
Yeah.
My question is for that, like sometimes if I go to the 6 hours of not feeding on that breast, she's choking when she eats. Because when like the first 30 seconds when I get that letdown, she's not able to swallow enough of it. So should I just be pulling her off? Well, not pulling her off, but
taking her off. You're so overfull, and then what winds up happening is that there's just such a heavy explosive type of letdown. It's more than she can handle. What you could try is before she actually comes on, do a little hand expression, soften up the breast and get a little bit of that out onto into a bottle, into a container. That will help. The other way is, because she's a little bit older now too, is to do a little bit more laid back feeding where you're laying down and she's on top.
Okay.
If she's underneath you and you're cradling her, or cross cradling, or even like a football holds, she can't really handle that volume of milk. So having her on top of you, or even sitting up and forward facing, where she's kind of like, you kind of have her straddled on your leg.
Okay.
And she's sitting up to eat, will allow that milk to drain out of her mouth, and it won't be going down her throat so fast.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it's all part of the same oversupply stuff that everyone deals with if they have an oversupply, and the gagging and the choking and all those other things. You might also want to just slow her down just a little bit, like feed her a little, take her off, burp her, see if she's satisfied. See if you can start maybe even making those feedings a little more frequent, so she's not so overly full and going so long between feedings. Breastfed babies are supposed to be eating somewhere between like 2 to 4 hours, not the 6 hours. When we start to see 6 hours at this age, it's usually just because of the oversupply, and she's eating just way more than she normally would, but it's just going in so fast she can't stop it. Right. So it's almost like, think of it like pace feeding with a bottle. Okay. More upright, less laid back where it's pouring down, more slowing down, taking breaks in between so that you can really allow her to, see if she's full versus just getting all that milk in. I would think of it like a fast flow nipple on a bottle. All right. That's kind of what's happening. And so a little more pace feeding, and let her guide you. She'll tell you, like, I'm not telling you not to feed her if she's hungry, but maybe just a little bit less. Maybe she'd get like just 4 ounces when she's eating and be hungry again in 3 to 4 hours.
So the 6 hours is only at night. During the day, she eats like every hour and a half to 2 hours and empties it between 5 to 9 minutes.
Okay. So it's only at night. It's only, I missed that. So it's only at night that she's going the 6 hours. Yeah. I would say start weaning down those pumping sessions. Yeah, start weaning down, and go and see if you could try to get her to feed on both sides before you go to bed.
Okay.
It's so good to see you. It's so good to see you. We had such a wonderful day with you and your husband and the baby, and oh my goodness, and we have so many amazing pictures and videos. I'll be sharing all of it soon. the new Beauty Experts membership site is going up in just a few weeks. And so you guys are going to get to see everything that we have and we're doing. I'm super excited. You'll all be the first to know. So
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Melissa. Take care.
You too.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Aw, it's so fantastic to meet people in person, you know, to be able to spend time like that and work with them. Let's do this. We still have more people waiting in the wings. Are you good to keep going a little bit more, Rebecca?
I am.
Okay. So Amanda and Belinda, do you have a breastfeeding question or do you have a sleep question? Can you hear me? Nobody can hear me. Okay, we're going to do an eeny, meeny, miny, mo here, and I'm going to choose. Okay, I can't really hear them. So, all right, let's bring in Amanda. Okay, and then I promise, Belinda, hang on. You're coming next, okay? I think she said both. So,
Okay.
Oh, here we are. Hi, Amanda.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
Good.
I have both.
Okay.
It's kind of hand in hand. My 5-month-old will only sleep on the breast.
Okay.
And that's at night and during the day.
Okay.
So mom is not getting much sleep because even though I'm dream feeding, it's still having to switch back and forth. And then I get nothing done during the day because as soon as I transfer him off, he wakes up and there's no pacifier in the world that's helping. So I need help.
Okay. Rebecca, do you want to start and take that?
Yeah, definitely. So it seems that that he's needing the breast in order to initially get to sleep and then to remain asleep, whether that's for the nap or for the nighttime. And actually, there's nothing that unusual about that. Because we all wake during the night. Humans wake between 2 and 6 times a night. So the waking up isn't ever really an issue. It's the getting back to sleep because he's beginning to stir. You're then, either waiting until he wakes up or as he's beginning to stir, you're latching him on. He then just goes back down and gets deeper sleep. If you just do not feed, he then is just going to wake up because he doesn't have those skills to get himself to sleep or therefore back to sleep. And that's the same for naps and for nighttime. So you can do some gentle sleep training to teach him how to fall asleep at the beginning of the night without needing to feed. And then when he's not hungry during the night, he won't need to feed in order. He'll still wake because he's going to be hungry, but he's not going to wake every single sleep cycle and need to feed in order to get back down to sleep. He'll just be able to get back down to sleep. So what I would do initially is that because honestly, this is one of the hardest habits to break simply because it takes a long time, okay? And it takes a long time because I like to do it really, really gently. I mean, you could just lay him down in the crib and just leave him and eventually he'd fall asleep, but that's really not a very gentle way of doing it, and I'm totally not going to advise that you do that. So what I would start doing for your nap times would be to, when he's fallen asleep, would to be just to unlatch him. And so he's not latched on for that entire feed. So getting him used to being asleep without needing to be latched on, if he's normally latched on for that entire time, he can latch back on if he needs to when he comes into a lighter sleep. But then again, try unlatching him. Then he's getting used to being in that deeper sleep without needing to be latched on. During your night times, I would suggest that you actually try for as many feeds as you can manage during the night, and especially that first feed, getting to sleep, that you sit up and feed him and then laying him down. So again, he's sort of waiting, you're unlatching, he's going to sleep for about 10 minutes and then you're going to try laying him down. Doing that for as many feeds as you possibly can, honestly, can make a huge, huge, huge difference to how he's then feeding during the night. Okay. I would also suggest as well waiting until he's, again, earlier part of the night, not after 4 a.m., but waiting at least once, twice a night until he's woken up before you then are helping him back down to sleep. Okay. Because what happens is, I know it's sort of, you think of it, it's more of a pain. Well, he's now awake and I've got to get him back down to sleep rather than come in for light sleep. It's harder for him, especially if you're going to be sitting up. So it's not so easy for him to just get back into that deeper sleep. Definitely not so easy for you, but it means that because it's just not so easy, he's going to have he wants easy as well. And so then he may have an easier time. pulling back down, just you being hands-on, just picking up and just rocking. So take it nice and slow. Just sort of go, you want to get to you're right now where he's potentially needing to be latched on for a lot of them while he's sleeping or initially going down to sleep. And you want him to be able to fall asleep independently and to be able to get through sleep cycles. There's a billion different steps in between those two, the start and the end. So just go in tiny, tiny little steps. How am I going to do this? That's when you're going to get the best results, is just go small, just unlatching him. Then you can be, okay, I'm going to unlatch him. He's been asleep for 10 minutes and I'm going to lay him down. Just go slow and steady. And then you cannot go wrong.
Yeah, this is actually an issue that is kind of new, because he was like a really good sleeper up until about like 2 weeks ago. And I could just put him to sleep by patting him on his butt or, very easily. And he was only waking up about 2 times in the middle of the night. And I just nurse him back to sleep and transfer him back into the co-sleeper, and he was fine. And now it's just not happening.
Yeah. I wouldn't worry. Try, and it could be actually, if this is fairly new, it could be that he's ready for a little bit of a change of his daytime schedule. Oftentimes, that's what it looks like, is getting sort of something strange happening during the night. You get at least 3 consecutive nights of that. First thing I look at is, okay, how do we need to change our awake time? And it may be that he needs slightly longer awake time. He may need about 2 hours of awake time before going down for naps. Because if you're trying to put him down too early, he's not tired enough. He needs much more help. Much more help than if you get him at that sweet spot. And that then is going to be better naps. It's going to be better nighttime.
Okay.
Awesome. You know what? Let me just say this, Amanda. Everything's a process. And whatever we do when we're talking about our children, when we're talking about this whole entire journey, whether it's infancy, it's pregnancy, it's infancy, it's toddlers, it's children, it's Rebecca and I, we have teenagers, right? This is all just a process that we're all going through, and it's not a static thing, and things just change. And we go through these stages where we could feel like, oh my God, this is never going to end. Like, how am I going to get through this? And like you've heard from everybody who's been on today, everybody has that one thing, and it's that person's thing is not my thing. But the most important thing is to just try to stay present, stay calm, and know that it will pass. Like, follow some of Rebecca's advice and know that, this is a stage the baby may be going through. And then you got to ask yourself too, is there something going on for the baby that the baby just feels like he needs you right now, and it could be that's what's happening. I don't know I don't know. This is something that changed. Look back and see, was he sick? It's a he, right? He, yeah, he, she. So was he sick? Was he not feeling good? Was he teething? Was there any disruption? Like, did people stay over? Did the holidays happen? Did you have some kind of disruption to your normal routine? Because that's what I usually start to see, some kind of change like that. And it's your baby saying, I need you. I need to know that you're here for me. I need that reassurance. And even though it could feel so exhausting, because you're just like, oh my God, I just need to put you down. And I need you to be on your own again. I need to go back to where we were. There's something very important about that reassurance that you're giving when you're actually there for him, because he has a need and he's not doing it to manipulate you.
Yeah. This is
baby. Does that make sense?
4. And all of them, all the others have been really good sleepers. And so him just having this no sleep strike going on right now is just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, totally. I know. It's really hard. Believe me, I have a 17-year-old and I'm like, oh my goodness. But I know it's going to pass. I don't mean to make light of it. I'm actually not. I'm actually telling you, as a mom, regardless of our situations, we are all sort of in the same place. And I think that's what I love so much about our chats here and this community, and what we're doing, what's coming too with the new community and the private groups and everything we're doing is we can all support each other regardless of where we are, what we're going through. It's really about just going through this journey together. So you're getting there and you're doing awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thanks for jumping in. All right. So don't hang up. Don't hang up. If you hang up it before I do, it screws up. I'm gonna release you now. Okay. I already learned that the hard way. Okay. Yeah. And somebody just said they love these. Everybody's saying they love these chats. They go so fast. Can't wait for the new group. Okay, you guys, it's coming. I promise you. I know I've been saying that for a long time. We have the membership site is about to go live. Like I'm talking like next week, I'm going to have the website ready for you guys to see. In the meantime, you can still go and watch Simply Breastfeeding. It's completely free. I want you to watch that. I want you to, get as much as you can, tell people about it. And then as soon as we're ready to go live, I will be telling you all, make sure you're part of the My Baby Experts community, my Facebook group. That's where you're going to be able to get the invitations to come in. And then Rebecca also has her Slumber Academy. I want to make sure that everybody knows about Slumber Academy, Rebecca, and they have a link in their ManyChat as well.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
Okay, so there's
follow that link. Yeah, just follow that link. You'll get taken.
That link, Rebecca is the guru, the sleep guru. And if you're struggling with any kind of sleep issues with your child, go check out her site as well. I don't want to keep Belinda waiting because she's been sitting so patiently and she's next. So I'm going to pull her in right now. Okay, we're going to keep going for another minute here. All right. There you are.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you for being so patient and patiently waiting like that. I appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. So my question is, so I'm 17 weeks along. Yay. And we know it's a boy.
15 weeks?
17.
17. Oh, congratulations. Wonderful.
And we got to find out at 15 weeks it was a boy.
Okay. Yay. Congrats.
Yeah, a little early. He was ready to show us. So my question is, with breastfeeding, are there certain things that a lot of new moms have problems with? Are there commonalities in the beginning that I can look for?
And Belinda, this is not your first baby, is it?
Yeah, it's my first.
It's your first. Oh my goodness. Okay. So yes, I mean there are commonalities, and I would say that if I had to distill it down to the one commonality, it's not being fully prepared with the knowledge and information that you need, which you're doing. You're here, okay? But there's more. And not having that knowledge and that information before you go to breastfeed your baby, before your baby's birth, that can leave you in a place of really just not knowing and being sort of at the mercy of everyone around you, whether you're in the hospital, the nurses, friends, family, giving you all kinds of different advice that will become confusing and sometimes quite misleading and inaccurate. And I would say if I had to say one thing to first-time mom while you're pregnant, the very best thing that you could possibly do is be here with us right now, okay? Be reaching out to someone that you trust as an advisor. So like me, Rebecca, all of us, and then the whole community of these amazing mamas that are all here and also in the private group, which I know you're in, okay? To make sure that you have the right support and the right information. Have you watched Simply Breastfeeding yet?
No, I haven't gotten there yet.
So there is nothing better I can give you. And I want you to know, and I want everyone to know, people ask me, why am I doing that for free? And the answer is because I care so much about you getting what you need before your baby's born. I want no barrier. There should be no barrier to you having that good information, okay? So you go, that should be your first step. All right, you go and you watch that class. It's a 90-minute course. It's my whole entire, prenatal course on breastfeeding. You're going to go, oh God, I didn't know this and I didn't know that. Oh, I'm so glad I did it now and not after. Like, you'll see what I'm talking about when you watch it, okay? It's going to give you that real guidance to get you ready. Nothing prepares you fully till the baby's in your arms, but you're going to have great support here too. And by the time you deliver, my entire membership site will be up with all the other content and you'll be able to join. And I have a new way that I'm going to be teaching this, which is taking you through the stages of breastfeeding. Okay. And I'm about to launch this whole now soon with the site, so that you can be in the stage you're in, and it's a guided experience of what to learn.
I like that.
Yeah. It keeps it less confusing. There's too much information.
Mm-hmm.
Does the breastfeeding does the membership site that you're talking about, so I know the Facebook is free, will that cost money? Because you say the word membership, and to me that says
so my membership site is free, so you can join for free. There will be the Simply Breastfeeding class will be free, and same with some other content, a little bit of other content with it, plus all of the Q&As that we've done here. 10 years of live streams and all these other videos will be in the library there. That'll all be free. And the Facebook group will always be free. There is going to be a plus membership as well, where it will cost a monthly fee, not a lot, but a monthly fee that will open up all the rest of my content and courses, and another private forum that's going to be a little bit smaller, that anybody who wants to work a little more directly with me and get, there's just less people, so you're going to get your questions answered. I'll be doing all kinds of live streams, but I'll be doing them here, and I'm also going to be doing them in the group. It's just an additional service that I'm going to be offering that I've never done before.
Okay, thank you. I kept wanting to ask that question. I was like, so what does this mean? So thank you. Someone else had a good question on the feed. Does the quality of the mattress depend upon the sleep? Like they said, Newton to COSO or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Good. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, that is actually a great question. So all mattresses are fitting the exact same standard. They all have to meet the exact same standard that any crib mattress has to make. You then kind of want to look in the materials that go into this. So what I suggest that you do is, rather than putting a lot of money into the crib, put the money into the mattress, because a crib they're all going to be made to the same standard. They don't have lead paint. The slats are all going to be a certain width apart, and it's just sort of depends on. Then it's just sort of aesthetic, what it looks like. The more expensive, it's going to look fancier than just the basic IKEA crib. But so put your money into the mattress, because you've got to think your child is potentially going to be sleeping on that for more than half of their day. They're going to be sleeping on that mattress. And so if you can afford something that is more organic, then that is going to be better than something that is not. That's a good point. That's where that really put the money into the mattress as well, because you want your child to be comfortably sleeping there. They're only going to sleep somewhere when they're comfortable there. Put the money into that mattress where you can.
My sister-in-law sold me her crib for $20, so I can definitely put the money into a organic mattress.
Yeah.
As long as it's not an older crib with the drop-down rails or the
no.
So anything like that is fine. And again, the mattress, I don't think that the quality, as long as it's a firm surface.
Yeah.
Okay, but the things I would look for in a mattress is a nice firm surface. I would look for something waterproof and without seams, okay, because they do urinate and everything else on them, and it gets in there. And then the other is, it doesn't have to be organic, but look for non-toxic. Okay, so that it does not have all of those flame retardants and other things in it. Some mattresses are organic. They could be a lot more expensive. Nothing wrong with that. If you can afford it, fantastic. But if you can't, if you can go with a non-toxic that doesn't have the chemicals and the flame retardants, then I would go that way. And just like Rebecca said, it's there's not everything that your baby comes in contact with your baby needs to be organic, but there's a few things that do, and those are the things that you cannot wash or that they off gas. So a mattress, foam, things that are just not washable, nipple cream that's going in their mouth. Okay. Those are the things that I look for to be non-toxic and chemical free and organic if possible.
Yeah. So spend as much as you can. So you've got a budget for how much you can spend on a mattress. don't think, well, I can get one for $30. If you've got $100 budget, get one that you can get that sort of is going to be at that higher end, because it's just going to be just a better quality mattress.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so excited for you, Belinda.
Yeah,
and I'm so glad you're here nice and early, and that you're going to watch Simply Breastfeeding now. And you're going to watch it again just before you have the baby. Okay. Because you're going to get a reminder. All right. Make sure your partner watches with you. It's important. All right. This is all new, and you need that basic information is going to give you so much. Because I'm building out the membership site and we're building out the website, I went back and I started reading all the letters that I've gotten over the years. Okay. There's literally hundreds and hundreds of letters and like testimonials and things that I received over this class from people watching it online or in person. And the feedback of just how much it helped them, that they thought they knew. These are nurses, these are midwives, these are people who have actually gone through medical training and still learned so much from it. And I know that because I was in that same place as a midwife, and I thought I knew, and then I was kind of clueless. So what I teach in the class, it's if you don't know it, you're not alone, and it's not your fault. And if the nurses around you in the hospital don't know it and don't show you the right thing, it's not their fault either. We're not being taught the most basic of information and knowledge when it comes to breastfeeding. And that's why you need to take that into your own hands and make sure that you're prepared with that. And it's super simple. I mean, when you hear me say it, you're going to be, it's like, duh, like, well, that makes total sense. It's logical, it's simple, but there's the part that everybody's missing. So
I almost wish I could practice beforehand.
You don't need to. Your baby's going to come out, with the instincts of what to do. You're going to start, and that everybody gets to practice a lot right at the beginning. Ask any of the new mamas if they need any more practice. They don't. That's all they're doing. Okay. So it's meant to be this way. And biggest thing I could say is trust yourself, trust your body, trust yourself, trust your baby, trust this whole thing. Just like you're going through this pregnancy right now and you're not thinking, oh, I got to know what to do. I got to know how to make amniotic fluid. I got to think about creating this placenta. No, you're just kind of sitting back and it's happening. Okay. Breastfeeding is a little bit more active than that, obviously, but your body and your baby together still have those innate instincts that are going to kick in. And if you support, I think it's a good point is, the information I'm giving you is more about how to support what is already innately there and not interfere with it more than anything else.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. It's more about teaching you what's going to happen and what your body's doing, what your baby does without interfering.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Well, I'm done, so I'll let you take me off.
Good. They're pulling winners in the chat here, and I will definitely be sending out announcements when everything is live, okay? Okay, there we go. Did she hang up before me? No.
No.
All right. Uh-oh. All right.
I didn't hang up.
Okay, don't hang up. Yeah, it's not releasing you. Okay, I think we're gonna keep you there for a minute. It's not.
I didn't hang up. I can still hear you a little.
You're like frozen, and I'm just having trouble with this internet today. It's just my thing. I'm actually very happy. Oh, there you go. Okay, bye, Belinda. I'm actually pretty happy with the way things went today, considering how we started off, Rebecca. We had a pretty good chat here, an amazing chat. We didn't get to a lot of the other questions, but we got to
leave the camera there and just hang on.
You know what? We got to speak to everybody face to face. And honestly, what I love about what we're doing is we're using technology to create more intimacy. And that's really it. You know what I mean? It's like taking all of this and making it more personal. And that's what I know your whole membership and platforms about. That's what my whole new thing is coming up is all about, is to help and be there with you more personally with technology, right? So what a great combination. Yeah. So we've been going for quite a while now. I think it's time to say goodbye. People are saying that they wish that we could do this every day. Soon Soon we'll be doing a lot of it in the new group, in my private group, and also in the membership. I'll be on several times a week. So when we talk about how will you get more information, how will you work closer, it's just more of it. And so that's where I think you guys, you're going to get some really great support doing that. So I'll make sure that everybody gets that. And I know Rebecca already has that. So fantastic. Well, thank you for joining me, Rebecca, as always. I think we need to do this sooner than next month.
Yes.
All right.
Definitely.
I got a little travel, but it may be early next month. I'll make sure to give you the date this time.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah.
It does help, right?
It really does. Yeah, it does.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Love to Dream. And thank you, Even Flow Feeding. And congrats to the winners of the prizes. I'm so excited for you guys and for everyone else. Make sure you click through the message and look at all the different things and watch the videos. They're all there. I never got to get to my video, but it's there through your message. I always give you everything you need. And go watch Simply Breastfeeding, okay? Bye, everyone. Love you.
Bye.
See ya.